by the same billionaires who put Donald Trump back in the White House. In our campaign, who will tax billionaires to make the city affordable.
Zohran Mamdani, the young Muslim pro-Palestine mayoral candidate for New York who just won the Democratic primary elections to become the next candidate for New York City mayor.
Tonight was not our night.
After former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who was initially favoured to win, conceded as Mamdani led in the polls. A member of the Democratic Party and the Democratic Socialists of America and a self-declared socialist and supporter of Palestine, Mamdani says New York is too expensive. He vows to lower the cost of living and make life easier for working-class New Yorkers. 33-year-old Zohran Mamdani was born in Uganda and immigrated to the US as a child. He graduated from the Baldwin College in 2014 and worked as a housing advocate and a rap music producer in New York before entering politics. Originally seen as an outsider candidate, Mamdani ran a campaign that spoke directly to the needs of young people and the working class, promising rent controls, free bus travel, and increased taxes on the richest 1%.
Today, we're going to get to the bottom of this.
His campaign to run for New York City mayor took off on social media, with young people absolutely loving his campaigning style, as well as endorsements by well-known political figures in the US such as Bernie Sanders and AOC, and many well-known celebrities that helped him amass millions of views as election time approached. If elected in November 2025, Mamdani would be the first Muslim to hold that position. On Wednesday, he was leading the polls with 43% of the votes when 95% of the ballots were counted. In his victory speech on Wednesday, Mamdani attributed his victory to a campaign that focused on the cost of living and tackling wealth inequality in America's largest city.
With the vision of a city that every New Yorker could afford, we have won.
Throughout his campaign, he faced repeated criticism from pro-Israel commentators over his public support for Palestine. He stood out as a candidate whose focus was the city he was running for rather than US foreign policy or pledging support for Israel. Mamdani has called Israel's actions in Gaza a genocide and has said that as mayor, he would arrest Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu if he visited New York.
No, as mayor, New York City would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. This is a city that our values are in line with international law. It's time that our actions are also.
Mamdani also supports the boycott, divestment and sanctions movement. While some pro-Israel groups such as Batar Worldwide attempted to frame Zohran Mamdani's win negatively by saying that Jews should evacuate New York City and come home to Israel, many others celebrated the win online with light-hearted jokes about having a Muslim mayor of New York City, saying that Sharia law will be implemented in New York and claiming old pictures of New York as before the Islamic Revolution of 2025. But Zohran Mamdani's lead in the polls proves just how successful his campaigning strategy was and how much support he has in the city he ran for, particularly amongst